In the business school, we use presentations an awful lot as a method of assessment, and that's because when you go into the world of work, you'll be asked to make business and management presentations. I think the first thing in terms of planning your presentation is to know what the topic is and who the audience is. So first of all, identify your topic and then think about your audience. Then you need to do some research on the topic and find the key themes and key ideas. And I always suggest that when you're doing this research, look out for images, for pictures that you might use in your presentation to make it look more interesting. Once you've done your research, then you can begin planning the actual content of your presentation. And the easiest way to organise your presentation is to think in terms of a beginning, a middle and an end. And in the beginning, you're going to introduce yourself and your topic. In the middle of the presentation, you will present the topic or the theme. And quite often students do this by dividing the topic into 3 or 4 parts and then presenting each part at a time. And finally, at the conclusion, you might do a very quick summary and then thank the audience and finish the presentation. In terms of assessing presentations, what lecturers really like to see is an enthusiastic student who knows their topic. The thing that we really hate is to see somebody standing and reading their presentation. Don't read your notes, put your notes on a table, look at the audience and talk about the subject. You can make your presentation interesting by including pictures, by including diagrams on your PowerPoint slide, and by introducing appropriate anecdotes or stories that just help to liven up your presentation. Audience participation in presentations. It's really good to get audience participation. If you are quite nervous about how to manage questions, then I think it's simplest at the beginning of your presentation to say that you really welcome questions and you prefer to have them at the end of the presentation, because then you can focus on delivering the presentation and deal with the questions at the end. Now, something that some students do, which I think is a really good idea, is they give their friends questions to ask. So in other words, they plant questions in the audience, and that means that the first few questions, they know what they're going to be and they've got good answers prepared. So you might want to use that little tip as a way of helping to generate questions for your presentation. I think humour is very tricky because you need to know the audience, and humour is quite personal and quite culturally specific. So I really advise people to be very cautious with humour because you don't want to accidentally upset or offend somebody. I think my last point and last suggestion about presentations is when you've planned it, when you've prepared your PowerPoint presentation, rehearse it. You might want to rehearse it in front of friends or in front of a mirror. And what I do is I rehearse it at home in front of my pets who've become very well educated. But just that talking through helps you to get the right words in the right order in your mind. And then on the day, go in and enjoy it. And the more you enjoy it, the more your audience will enjoy it too.